It's going to highlight a new story that's just in, really, about Google, which now appears to be archiving your text for your employer. Now, there's been a new Forbes investigation and a few other from the technology press. I can see them here. Here's the Forbes one. Google starts sharing all your text messages with your employer. It's another one from TechLoy, Google's new Pixel update. Now, it appears to be an Android update, really, not specific to Pixel. But it's sort of early days. It's just been updated. So what is it? Well, it's a new feature called RCS Archival, and the technology press have confirmed it's been activated across enterprise. Remember, enterprise Android devices. This is not your own personal mobile phone. But it does mean that if your employer manages your phone and it's an Android device, every single text message you send or receive could be logged and archived. Encryption doesn't protect you because once the messages are decrypted on the device where the RCS service runs, your employer can access them. Just for information, RCS, in case you didn't know, stands for Rich Communication Service, and it's kind of the modern replacement for SMS and MMS on Android, and it's got all this sort of fancy features similar to WhatsApp or iMessages. So what's all this about? Well, here's what employers can now see potentially if this service is enabled. You can see SMS messages, MMS messages, chats, edited messages. You can actually see the original and the edited version. They're all recorded. Deleted messages, if you delete something from a device previously, they're still archived on the employer's server, and encrypted messages. So encryption is no protection here. Secure chats can be captured before encryption too. So encryption doesn't save you. It's important to remember this. End-to-end encryption is often treated like something of a magic shield. But if someone controls the device, they control the decrypted messages too. That's why employers can still archive these RCS chats, even if they're encrypted, because the phone, the device itself becomes the weak point, and they control it. So, what does Google say? Well, Google say this is about compliance. Yeah, right. Many industries legally require record keeping of communication. Now, your workplace may have policies in place about communication. They've probably got something about web use and emails and stuff like that. Maybe not about mobile phones, but depends where you work, I guess. But in theory, a warning should appear on your device, so you should be notified telling you your messages are being archived. So if they're being archived, basically the company has full access to them, okay? But many employees might just see these as one of these text messages that appear or warnings. So be warned, you may be notified about this. Remember, again, it's only employer-managed Androids, your work phone, if you work probably for a bigger company or something like that. So why are experts alarmed? Well, they are alarmed here. Cybersecurity experts and privacy advocates are warning this goes far beyond compliance. It normalises full spectrum surveillance of employees' communication. Now, people use their mobile phone, their work mobile phones. Often there's a huge crossover between personal and work place communicate. People often use these work phones as their only phone and use it for very personal chats. So they might unknowingly expose deeply private information. So just be aware. Remember, people do mix personal work comms, and HR legal teams may have access to these archives depending on your policies. But they'll be there. They can get them. So it's a big moment, this, in digital privacy. It might not affect many people at the moment, only people with work phones who use a lot. But once a capability exists, it usually spread. RCS now is built into Google Messages, and there is a great potential for policy creep. Experts worry employers might demand archival on personal devices, extending it to their personal devices. And governments might even piggyback on this feature or access this data later. Remember, this data will now be on your firm's email servers. So what should you do? Well, whatever, really. The advice from security professionals is quite simple. If your employer controls the device, assume everything is monitored. So separate your work and personal communications for your own safety and peace of mind. If you're overusing maybe your work phone for your personal life, this may be a time to stop doing that. So this is a reminder that privacy isn't just about encryption or apps. It's about who controls the device. If the device isn't yours, your messages probably aren't. So that's it. That's just a brief summary. I'm sure there'll be quite a lot more to this story over the coming weeks. It's potentially, although it might not affect lots of people at the moment, it's potentially quite a big story. So what do you think? Do you think this is reasonable compliance? After all, they're company-owned devices, or is this workplace over surveillance? Anyway, interested in your thoughts, and hopefully everybody have a great day and start using your personal phones. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.